Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you're welcome and I hope you all are doing well. So in today's video, I'm going to be making a DIY cropped flutter top. Okay, so with that said, let's go straight into the video. So right here, I'm starting by marking where I'm going to be cutting out. So I'm just taking my measuring tape and I'm going to mark out 22 inches, just like in the middle of my knee, right there. Okay, so I'm going to transfer this to the table and make a proper measurement. Okay, so right now I'm just going ahead to place the measuring tape in place and I'm going ahead to mark the 22 inch right there. Okay, so next I'm going to take my scissors and cut on a straight line. All right, so taking my scissors, I'm going ahead to cut it on a straight line because I don't want to hem the bottom. So this is a really stretchy fabric and plus I love the texture of the fabric. That's the reason why I bought it. Okay, so now I'm taking one of the bottom piece and I'm going to take that and fold it over. So I'm going to be using this one for the flutter part of the top. So next I'm going to take my scissors and cut that in half. Again, cutting it on a straight line. So I'm not going to be hemming the bottom part of the flutter piece too. So making sure to cut it on a straight line. Okay. So this will be the flutter piece. Okay, so next I'm going to turn this inside out and I'm going to go ahead and cut out the same line on both pieces. Again, I'm going ahead to cut it on a straight line. Okay, I'm going to do the same to the second piece. Mind you, this is one part of the bottom piece I cut out, so the second part will be for the top. All right, so now I'm just going ahead to open it up and I'm going to place that on top like that and making sure the right sides are facing. So next I'm going to take my pin and pin that in place. So the pants I'm working with today doesn't have a side seam, so that's why I was able to cut it open like this. So as you can see, there's no seam in the middle. Okay, so next right now I'm going ahead to work on the second piece I cut off, which is the bottom part of the leg, the second piece. As you can see, the fabric is really stretchy. So right here I'm making sure to measure it to make sure I'm going to have the right length. Okay, again, I'm going ahead to turn that inside out. So next, I'm going ahead to fold it into two just like this. So this will give me the back and the front pieces. So next, I'm going ahead with measuring tape and I'm marking 2.5 inch. So from there, I'm going to go ahead and make my armhole curve. So next, I'm going ahead with the scissors to cut it. So for the bottom part right here, I'm going ahead to mark 7.5 inch. That would be for the waist. So next I'm connecting that to the armhole. So going in with my scissors, I'm going ahead to cut out the excess fabric. So for the bottom piece, I'm just going to go ahead and measure the length of the top. So I'm making the length of the top 10 inch. So I'm just going ahead to cut out this, the excess fabric from the bottom. So since this fabric is really super stretchy, I'm not going to be adding seam allowance to the side. Right here, I'm just going ahead to make the back piece. So if you want yours to be curved like this, you can go ahead and curve it, or you can also leave it straight if you prefer that. right, so next I'm gonna go ahead and pin the front piece and the back piece together. Okay, so next I'm gonna take this to my sewing machine and sew and sew the sides together. So for the armhole, I'm taking the piece I cut out earlier. I'm gonna use that to finish up the armhole, and also you can do the fold over hem method on the armhole. Okay, so now that that is done, I'm going to take that to my sewing machine and use a straight stitch to sew that in place. Okay, so next I'm going ahead to mark the center front of the top and also the center back of the top. So I'm going to do the same thing to the flutter piece as well. All right, here I'm going ahead to do the same thing. I'm going to mark the center front of the flutter piece and also the center back of the flutter piece. So right here, I'm going ahead to pin the right side of the flutter piece to the wrong side of the top. Again, the right side of the flutter piece to the wrong side of the top. So by the time I sew it together and I flip it over, the right side will be facing the same direction. Okay, I'm doing the same thing to the back piece. As you can see, the right side of the flutter piece is facing the wrong side of the top. So when you flip it over like this, you're gonna have the smooth and beautiful finishing on the top. Okay, so now that I've made sure of that, make sure everything is facing the same direction, I'm gonna take this to my sewing machine and use a zigzag stitch to sew it together. So I'm maintaining the stretch on the fabric. That's why I'm using the zigzag stitch. Would be for the elastic band, and I'm going to be minusing 2" from the measurement. So I measure 40" minus 2, that will give me 38. So this will help the elastic to sit well on my body to make sure it won't like fall or lose. So whatever measurement you have, you want to go ahead and minus 1" or 2" depending on how snug you want the elastic to be on your body. So for me, I went ahead and minus 2". So to attach the elastic to the top, I'm going ahead to pin both ends together. So I'm going to be marking all 4 points. So the center back and the center back, the center front, the right shoulder and the left shoulder points. So once that is done right now, I'm going ahead to pin it to the top. Okay, so now that I have the elastic pinned to all 4 points, I'm going to go ahead and take it to my sewing machine and attach it to the edge of the fabric using a zigzag stitch. So for the shoulder part, I'm going to be folding the elastic over just like that. So next, I'm going to use a zigzag stitch to sew that in place. So this is the finishing result of the zigzag stitch. As you can see, it's still very stretchy, and this is the top part of the top. And here is the final result of the flutter top. So you can wear it as an off-shoulder style, or you can wear it as a regular crop top, just like this. So this is the final result. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and thank you so much for popping by my channel today, and I'll see you all in my next one.